Hey guys, Zuzunatural here. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching, we do green beauty, non-toxic beauty, DIYs, all things clean, green, holistic living, natural lifestyle, all that kind of thing. We do that here. So if that's what you're interested in, have a seat, get comfortable. Today we're gonna do Swatch Fest. Swatch Fest. We're gonna do Swatch Fest. So I did one Swatch Fest video, but this time I want to do it with only foundations. So we're specifically going to be doing foundations, and we're specifically going to be doing the darkest shades from some of the popular green beauty foundations. I swatched my favorite foundation brand, which is Plain Jane Beauty. You guys know I love that. I am number 9. I am stunning in the summertime, and I am number 10 in the winter, but it's hot here always, so I'm like number 9 most of the time. However, when I was in Alaska for like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, I started losing my color, and thank goodness I had my number 10 because I needed my number 10. My number 9 was too rich. Anyway, I digress. So if you want to see the foundation swatches for Plain Jane Beauty, all 17 shades, watch that video. I will link it below. You can check that out. So I won't be swatching that here because I already did that. Also, if you want to see the Alima Pure sample, the foundation swatches, check that out as well. However, what I will say is there's 2 darker shades from Alima Pure that I did not get because the swatches that they had like just on the piece of paper just look so dark, but they're not. And that is why it's important to swatch brown foundations on brown skin so you can get a feel for what it really looks like. So I do have the 2 darkest colors from Alima Pure now to swatch for you. So I'm going to swatch a few foundations, and I'm only going to swatch them on my hand because none of these are a match for me. So some of them are in my shade range and some of them are a little darker, but none of them worked as far as my skin tone and undertone. So I am caramelly chocolate with red undertones, and really more now in the summer. So in the winter and in the cooler months, I'll just be more caramelly with maybe a neutral, kind of a neutrally red, but I don't have yellow undertones. I don't have golden undertones, so I'm going to show you these colors, and maybe it will help you choose your foundation if you haven't found your foundation match yet in the green beauty world, because I know the struggle is real. It's tough. Took me years to find my foundation match, years, and that's why I'm so happy I don't have to look anymore. All right, so let's get into it. First, we're going to start with, let me see. So I got the samples from Detox Market. This is my little sample bag, and you can get 4 samples for $7.99. You used to be able to get 5 for $9.99, but now it's 4. I liked it better when it was 5, but and you can only get 1 sample pack per order, and I want to get like 5 at a time, and I can't. And the shipping is a little less expensive on the samples than it is as if you were getting like a huge order. I think the shipping is like $1.99 as opposed to like $3 or $4. So that's good. So that's where I got my samples, and let's get into it. So we're going to start with the Alima Pure, and this is the Liquid Silk Foundation. This is the foundation that I did attempted to do the color match with, and it was a no-go. It was no bueno. It didn't work. So the colors that I had that I thought would be my color from the swatches were Heat and Lush, and you know what, let's just swatch those just so you can see it next to it. But these are the ones that were not my color. One was like very pink, and one was like very so I'm gonna do a lot of swatches here, so I don't even know where to put them, but we're just gonna do it. So that's Heat, and this one didn't work. I don't know if you guys remember, that one didn't work. That's too yellow. So then let me swatch Lush. Lush seemed like it was going to be my color because I felt like it had a red undertone, but turns out it has more of a pink undertone once it got on my face, and I'm not pink, so that didn't work. And so there we go. right there, right? So that's Lush. So neither one of those work. If you are a lighter brown, those could possibly work for you. But now for us darker beauties, we have Muse and Cashmere. So these are the two darkest shades. Muse is the color that Alima Pure thought would be my color. And it is very close. It's just not a match because it, once again, has more of a pink to me, has a pink undertone, and I'm just not pink, so it doesn't work. So I'll show you that next to it. So there that is. There that is. So that's that. That's Muse. And it's more of a brown, cocoa-y brown, but it's not as warm. It's kind of cooler with like a little bit of pink to it. So that didn't work, but it might work for one of you guys. That's Muse. Now this is the darkest shade. This is Cashmere. And Cashmere is too dark for me, but not that much darker. If you look at the swatches, Cashmere looks super chocolatey, but it's really not. So that's it. So you can see it up close. That's Cashmere. And Cashmere actually is a really nice brown. It's just a little too rich for my complexion, but I feel like as far as the actual brown, it's very puddingy, very chocolate puddingy. It's pretty. So that's it. And it actually blends into my hand nicely, but my face is lighter than my hand, so it didn't work out. But that is Cashmere. And as you can see, there's a significant difference in the dark colors. So these are like more considered the darker colors. And this one I would say is the only one that's really the dark color. This one is kind of medium toned, but then again, not really. So those are the Alima Pure Silk Foundation shades and the darkest colors. What did I do first? I think I did Lush. So we have Lush, Heat, Muse, and Cashmere. So those are those. Okay. Swatch Fest! Actually, wow, Cashmere looks really good right there. It does, but yeah, no. Okay, so what are we going to do next? Next, we're going to do Sappho. So this is Sappho New Paradigm Liquid Foundation. And I put swatches of this on Instagram. So if you want to see really nice, neat swatches, you can go on my Instagram, Zuzunatural, and check it out there. And if you're not following me on Instagram, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do it. So I'm going to take my bracelets off so I could do this like right on my arm, just so we can see it clearly. So the darkest colors for Sappho, and that's Sappho, just in case you're like, who, what? Sappho is 9, 10, 11, and 12. So it's hard to tell from the swatches, but clearly 9 and 10 are not really dark shades, but they look like dark shades when you're looking online. So I will swatch them for you just so you can see them next to the darker shades for comparison. So we're going to start with number 9, and number 9, let's put it right here. Okay, so that's number 9, which is quite light. So even though it might look caramelly in the swatch online, it's not. So don't do that. Don't buy number 9 if you're caramelly. It's definitely not. It's kind of vanilla color. So then there's number 10, which is what I thought would be my shade when I was just looking at the swatches. I thought this is going to be my color, but I just got the darker ones just because, you know, you never know. Well, I was wrong. This is not my color. This is really just a little bit warmer and darker than number 9. That's number 10. So still not quite a brown shade, even though it may appear to look like one. Now we're getting into the brown colors. So we have 11 and 12, which are drastically darker, you can't see them, okay, than the ones that I just swatched, and they're too dark for me. So this might work for you if you are darker. Now, this color is really, really rich and a significant jump from that. But let me show you. And I thought these would be too dark, but you know, you never know, so I purchased them. This one is really cool, like cool color, not cool, but a cool color, and it's dark. That is like a dark, cool toned cocoa. If you happen to be dark, cool toned cocoa, that would work for you. So that's number 11 in the Sappho. And there's a big difference. Sometimes I just wish that companies would just give us a little bit more in between the maybe like tanned olive and chocolate. Like there's some shades in between there. Like the Fenty. Listen, I'm so jealous of the Fenty Beauty 40 shades. Like I can't use it because it's not green and non-toxic, but like I'm really jealous. Riri, come through for the non-toxic. Girl, hit us up. 40 shades. And I understand it's hard to do 40 shades. That's a lot of shades. Takes a lot of capital to pump out that many shades. But I'm excited about the day when we have maybe 20, and I feel like with Plain Jane Beauties, ooh, this is dark. This is nice. This is gonna be nice for my really chocolate beauties. I feel like this is like a real brown shade. Like the one that I just showed you, the number 11, I felt like I don't know anyone that's that cool and cocoa-y. This one though, look at that. I feel like that is for the really chocolate girls. I think you could rock that. That's number 12. So that's the darkest color. And now this one is the one I was most excited about. So I really need to, I'll probably show you on this hand because I feel like it needs its own space. So the Kjaer Weis, I believe that's how you say it, Kjaer Weis. They have a cream foundation. Now I'm not the biggest cream foundation wearer. I prefer a liquid, but sometimes when I want a fuller coverage, I would love it if I had a cream. Right now, if I want a fuller coverage, what I do is just put on my liquid foundation. Well, it's called Cream Minerals Foundation, my Plain Jane, but it's a liquid foundation. It's not a cream. And then I just powder over it if I want a heavier coverage or mix the powder in. But this is a true cream formula, and the formula is very nice, but I didn't have a color match. So there's two dark colors for Kjaer Weis. There is Delicate and Transparent. Transparent is the first of the darker colors, the lighter of the two. And it's kind of a light brown, lighter than I am. And so I'll swatch this on this hand because I really want you to see it by itself. I love the texture and consistency of this foundation. I just have to tell you that. Love the texture and consistency. It is like if you want a full coverage, which I'm not a full coverage girl, but sometimes you know you want it. So that's it. That's Transparent. And so that's kind of in line with these others. It's kind of light. And of course, this is more intense than you would actually put it on your face, but nonetheless, it's still not my color. So if you're a couple shades lighter than me, this would still work for a brown girl, but a light brown girl. Now, the darkest color is Delicate, and it's not super dark because it's my color. It's just that the undertone didn't work for me, but it's really a lovely caramel color. And so I hope that in the future, Kjaer Weis comes out with darker shades, because to have a cream foundation choice would be so lovely. So now look at that. This is the color Delicate. This one was very close to my shade range, but I would say maybe just a little too neutral for me and not enough red. Now, I do wonder how this will look on me in the winter. So I will tuck this little sample away and pull it out when I get a little lighter and see, because, oh, I would love to have a cream. I really would. And what I like about this foundation is it seems as though you can cut back on a lot of things because of the thickness and texture. Like it goes on thick like a cream, but it's not heavy, but you would be able to use it like under your eyes as a concealer without putting on a concealer. You'd be able to touch up some of your dark marks and buff that in without using like a color corrector or anything. Like I really feel like this could be an all multi-purpose product if it was my color, but it's not. But I think this color is a nice color. So if you are close to my shade but have more of a neutral undertone, or maybe, I wouldn't say olive, maybe golden, this might work for you. It is really a pretty shade. So I hope that they come out with some darker shades, because we need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need like 5 more shades on that side. I said 5 real country. I'm sorry, New Jersey. I'm so sorry. Houston is getting a hold of me. I said 5. No, we don't say 5 in New Jersey. 5. 5 shades. So yeah, so that's the Kjaer Weis. Those are the 2 darkest shades from Kjaer Weis, transparent. I have one more, and it's the Gressa. So now the Gressa did not work well as a sample because of the formula. So you know it's very liquidy and comes with like a dropper, or you might not know, but it's very liquidy because it's a serum foundation, and it comes, so it's liquidy, oily, comes with a dropper, and it just did not fare well in a sample. So some of these are dried up. I did swatch them, I believe, for Instagram, so maybe I'll pop that in here, or you can go to the Instagram and see it. But some of them are dried up, and I think the darkest colors are dried up, so we'll see what happens here. I hope that I can get enough out. So the darker colors are number, ooh, I can't even read these anymore. I have so much foundation all over them because they were just such a mess because of the serum. So I have number 6, it looks like. Oh, I can't tell, guys. The 4 darkest colors, that's what we're working with here. The 4 darkest shades from Gress. Okay, I got it together. It's 5, 6, 7, and 8 are the darkest colors. And 5 and 6 are not that dark. And it's just dried up so bad in here just because of the formula. And, you know, it's not meant to be in this little plastic. This was a sample. Let's just put it right here. Let's just do that. So now, one thing I will tell you, the Gressa Minimalist foundations were a little too oily for my liking, for my skin. I have combination oily skin, so it's not something that I would purchase, but I did want to get it just so you could see the shade range. So that's number 5. It's very light. It's kind of peachy, so that definitely would not work for you if you were close to my shade. And but I hear people love the Gressa, especially people with drier skin, love this serum foundation. A serum foundation just does not work for me though. Like, it's just not. Like, I put this on and I was like greasy, and I think it says it dries down to a powder finish, which it did not do on me. Didn't dry down. I just looked a little oily. So this is number 6. Okay, it's number 6. Still very light, so that won't work for you if you're darker. And if you wear any of these shades that I'm swatching, let us know so we can kind of get a gauge on what it really looks like on what skin tone, because you probably can't tell what this really looks like on my skin tone, just like I can't tell what a brown shade looks like on a lighter skin tone. It's like so confusing. Okay, so now this is number 7, which is what I thought I would be, but it was too something. I think it was too cool. Let's see. It's not a lot in there, sorry guys, but yeah, it's way too cool. So that's number 7. It's kind of for a chocolate cool tone, and so that didn't work at all. And I felt like it was almost darker than the last shade, which I think is supposed to be the darkest, which is number 8. But yeah, so that was number 7. Now number 8 is the one that was closest to my skin, so I hope that there's enough left in here for me to show you, because it was just drying out. And that's not a lot in there. So listen, that's what it looks like. I don't know what I'm going to get out of there for you guys. But what I do want to say, if I can't get much out, is that it was close to my color. Just a little too rich. No, it's not. I'm sorry, guys. It's not coming out. So let me just explain. It was close to my color, but just a little too rich and a little too red. Even though I have a red undertone, I'm not like a deep, deep red undertone. And so it was like one shade darker than me and redder than me, if that makes sense. And I did try to swatch it right there, but that's really not enough for you to see it. But that's all I have left in there. Sorry. I did a lot of playing with this, and then on top of it drying out, because, you know, it's a sample and it's not in its true form. It's not in the bottle that it's supposed to be, and it just didn't last. But that's it. That's the number 8. So now those are all of the samples that I have. We have the Alima Pure Silk. We have the Sappho. We have the, what do we have? The Kjaer Weis. And then we have the Gressa. So just in case you wanted to know, that's what we have. Those are the colors. So I just wanted to show you guys those because I had all these samples, and I know it's tough when you are trying to find a foundation match, like you have to check, you have to get samples first, guys. You have to. You cannot tell by looking at someone else. You cannot tell by looking at the swatches on a piece of paper. You can't tell if you're brown like me or darker. You can't tell by looking at swatches on a lighter person, and then vice versa. If you're lighter, you can't tell by looking at swatches on me. This is not going to do you any good. So, you know, that's how you know. You need to just get a sample and check it out. If you use any of these, the Gressa, the Sappho, the Alima Pure, the Kjaer Weis, drop that in the comments. Let me know what color you are and how you like the formula. Like I said, that Kjaer Weis really has me hopeful that this one could possibly work for me in the winter. Although now that I'm looking, it's probably just too golden, but I'm gonna give it a shot and try it again in the winter because I love the feel of it, the cream, for when I want a heavier coverage. So drop that in the comments. Let me know if you've tried any of these. Let me know if you think any of these are your color or your shade. And if you want to test it out, get some samples from Detox Market. 4 samples for $7.99. Like, that's no skin off your teeth, right? Skin off your teeth. Where does that come from? I don't know if I like that terminology, but I said it. So yeah, it's no skin off your teeth. So yeah, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Zuzunatural. Peace out.